Hi, this is Stan Bush.
Hi, this is Stephanie Calvert.
This is John Payne.
This is Jack Hughes.
Hi, I'm Carrie Stevens.
Hey everybody, this is Prescott Niles.
Hello, I'm Kofi Baker.
And you're listening to Play That Rock and Roll.
All right, we are here with Mick Strawn. Mick, how are you doing today?
Yes. No, I'm doing great, goddammit.
That's good to hear.
Damn, you know, I've gone out here and insulted many people, and some of them have even insulted me.
Whoa,
Son
who would
of a
dare to
bitch,
do
right?
that?
Yeah. I'm telling you, all these rock people. Oh, they're the worst!
Don't tell me Ron Keel came over and gave you the hard time.
Yes.
Okay. That's all.
And there was a little freak out around, all glitter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, they're all fucking all glitter. Wait a minute. Either that or they got stars on their pants.
Yeah.
Or they're wearing things that, later on they're going to have to take off with paint thinner.
You know, if you light a match in here with all the hairspray, this place is going to go up.
Whoa! You blow all the people with the other convention right out.
Yeah, they all look like me after
That's
it.
exactly.
There you
exactly.
go. Oh, man, that's great. When you were here earlier, I teased this. I could talk to you all day about Runaway Train. You worked on Runaway Train.
What the hell? Why are you so excited? I have to tell you.
It's a good movie.
On Runaway Train, in working there, we were actually going around in the cold. We were in Alaska.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time is we had made a version of our own train, which was I think we had about 6 cars, a dining car. There was a camera car. There was one for special effects and art department and so forth. And we had taken a dining car and a kitchen car. We really did it up right. But the thing is we would go out on the tracks outside of Anchorage, and we would start heading north. And what everybody kept telling us is, look, here's the problem. As you're going, when you leave this train station, your chances of coming back at any given point are limited. So you have to have everything, because there's all kinds of ice. What do they call them? Tumbling ice and snow.
Oh, avalanches.
Avalanches. Yeah. There's avalanches. And we would get caught out there for like 3 weeks.
Oh, my God.
God, it was really weird. But you know what? We had lots of lobster and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because lobster was cheap.
Yep.
And I remember the first time, I was a Southern California boy, right?
Oh.
And so I remember the first time we opened the door and we had to go out. We had to go, they had these signs that said Alaskan Railroad, and we had to go Greek them out.
What does that mean? To Greek them out?
Well, we couldn't show that to people because it was an undefined place. Right? We didn't. So, nobody would ever catch it in a million years, but you know what? We still have to do it, right? And so, I opened the door to the train, and son of a bitch, but I thought, well, this is going to be easy because the snow just went almost directly from, the deck, straight out. And I thought, well, how nice is that, right? I swear to God, I took one step outside, and all of a sudden, there was this disconcerting movement, and the next thing you know is I'm looking up this little tunnel that I can see the door up through a tunnel in the snow. And from then on, I thought, oh, this is going to be a motherfucker. Oh, my God. Just dragging and tunneling. So what we would do is we would literally tunnel from one side to the next because we didn't want to show our...
Yeah.
So we didn't want to walk up on top of the snow.
Right.
Because that was our set dressing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So we were literally learned how to, just shoot the snow side and just go, from one right down the tracks and stuff. I am so, we lost like 6 cameras on that fucking show in the snow, right? Yeah. And I'm sure at least 2 crew members. still out there.
Have you ever had a shoot like that before or after?
Dealing with a lot of snow like that? No. No. I mean, what are you going to get into? I remember.
Maybe I don't know if you did a movie in Russia.
I remember like getting off the fucking plane. When I got off the plane, they were remodeling everything, right?
Yeah.
And first of all, in landing, you come down and you're just under tunnels, right?
Yeah.
There's just wall of snow. And I remember, they didn't have the walkway that came out. They literally came out with one of those, trucks that has the staircase. And you had to go walk down it. And I'm not kidding. The door opened.
There were only like 4 of us on the flight, and the door opens, and I took my first breath. I went, no, this is horrible. I couldn't even tell that it was cold.
Oh.
All I knew is it was pain.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So speaking of snow, I saw just recently. The show's not even out yet. It was a preview. That was Danny Trejo's first movie. And he said that he mentioned that there was a lot of blow on that set. And I'm not asking you to get anyone in trouble.
So I go down to help this kid, right? Said, hey, Dan, there's a lot of blow down there on my job.
But was that, do you know if that was like a pretty wild film set or anything like that? Was that a party town? Yeah. Okay, you heard it here.
Okay.
If you asked a grip at the time, you say, well, how long is a 40-foot grip truck?
Yeah.
And he said, well, on the inside, it's 35 feet, of course.
Yeah.
And it was art department's job to go into the grip truck at the very beginning of the film and build out that first 5 feet.
Okay.
And we would make a little lounge of it. And then a lot of times you would go to a glass maker that would get a 3/8-inch piece of glass for the countertop that you would carve the name of the show into it.
Okay. Wow.
And then it was props' job
Yeah.
to keep that leveled out.
That's
Because
amazing.
because props had
Yeah.
miscellaneous.
Oh, okay.
And miscellaneous was probably at least 10% props.
Okay. That's awesome. Oh my God.
Does that give you an idea?
That gives you a pretty clear idea of how fun that
so
set was.
what separated the men from the boys, and I mean literally in age
sure.
more than anything else, is you go up to a grip and go, how long is the inside of a grip truck? 35 feet.
Okay. Nice.
God damn it.
Yeah.
35 feet. Because that last feet's the important feet.
Yeah.
By the way, Danny Trejo was also in The Hidden.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Right, he was one of the prisoners in The Hidden. He actually had a line.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, he did a lot of movies as a prisoner.
Yeah.
Well, he's
come on, Danny Trejo, right?
Yeah. So, what was it like? That's famously a Cannon movie. What was your thought on Cannon and those people?
Let me tell you about Cannon.
Yeah.
I just recently went to. There was a film called Fear that was filming in North Carolina with Jack Shoulder.
Yeah.
And we were preliminary. We were doing we haven't shot it yet, but we were doing preliminary walk around. Location scout, right? And the day that I got there, everybody was around, and they had a guy by the name of Steve Marsh, who production designed Runaway Train, by the way. These guys had a Canon fetish.
Yeah.
This film company did.
Guilty.
Okay. So anyway, Steve Marsh was the production designer, and he came down. He couldn't do the job, so I was coming in to replace him. So we were both in the building. We were both at a restaurant, right? And I walk into the restaurant, and they go, "Tell us a story about Canon Films," right? Because they were all like freaked out about Canon Films, and I said, "Well, the first thing I got to tell you is that Canon Films was so hated in LA,
Right.
hated in LA, that they couldn't get any accounts.
Yeah.
So you would walk in, and if you were a department head, there was a row behind the receptionist. There was like, one of those things that you put stuff in behind her with cabinets and stuff.
Yeah.
And she'd open up the cabinet, and there'd be a whole bunch of paper bags in a row, and she would check out a paper bag to you, which would have $10,000 in cash in it. And I said that, and everybody at the table started cracking up and said, Steve Marsh just said exactly the same thing. So the way that you knew that you were on a Canon Films is you had $10,000 in a brown paper bag next to you on your car going, what the fuck am I going to do with that?
Well, we talked about one thing you could do with that earlier.
Yeah, well, there. Yeah.
That's funny. Oh man. So what was you were also on BREAKIN 2.
BREAKIN 2.
The other Canon movie.
Right,
What was that set like?
Crazy.
Yeah,
it was really weird because it was filmed in East LA.
Better weather.
And oh my God, I had this little Honda car.
Yeah.
And I would show up. I would show up, and my car would get stripped.
Oh shoot!
Right.
Okay.
By the time I was done with that show, I had most of the windows were broken out. I was running on used tires because all my tires had been stolen. I was running on junk rims.
Yeah.
To say that I had no radio. I mean, I had no radio as I was driving into the fucking town.
Yeah.
I might as well just taken it out, ripped it out, and just dropped it on the side of the street for how long it was going to be in my car. So, the DP shows up, and he goes, well, Mick, obviously, we're not going to be able to do any of the things that we wanted to here. And I go, okay. Because you can never really guess what a fucking DP is talking about, right? It's like there's always... So, well, Mick, obviously, the row of palm trees going down the middle of the street, because the Miracles building had as an entrance, it had a row of palm trees going down the street, right? But the last one was maybe 3 feet away from the first platform, where they were going to do the singing, dancing, let's put on a show! Because basically, BREAKIN 2 is a Judy Garland, Mickey Rooney film.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
they do the dancing on the ceiling in that one, right? Where the room spins
yeah,
upside
and
down.
I worked with that room, and I got to tell you sometime about Zodiac.
Oh, okay.
We'll do this. We're
I'd
gonna go on from here later on,
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
will tell you some real stories about
Okay.
it. So, anyway, he goes, we can't film, and I go, so tomorrow morning, you have this big crane shot, and you can't swing the crane around because the back of the crane would take out the first palm tree.
Oh.
Not a problem that you would have these days. A drone and everybody
Oh,
be
sure,
happy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But those cranes in the old days were huge, and you had to think about where that back was going to go. I said, look, don't worry about it. You get here in the morning, and it's not going to be here.
Nice.
So what I did was I called a broker for palm trees, right?
Hey, that was a thing.
$10,000 is what a palm tree costs right now.
Wow.
And they move them around all the time
Okay.
because they're really easy to get up. There's my story. So
Okay.
I go, I tell you what, here's what I need you to do. I will give you $1,000 and a palm tree.
That's thinking.
But what you have to do is you have to drive up here at exactly 6:30, and I gave him the address 3 blocks down, and then I went down there with $1,000 cash, put it in his hand, and I said, okay, I'm going to point to a tree, you're going to come around the corner backwards, you're going to just lean up against the tree, wrap your chain around it, and pull it and go.
Yeah.
Right? And he was wise enough not to ask questions like, well, who does the tree belong to? Yeah, well, it might be in dispute.
Yeah, right.
Hell, it might be the road corporate. I don't know.
Yeah,
It could be anybody's. So, right at dusk. And by the way, if you're going to do something illegal,
Yeah.
if you're gonna break the law at dusk. You've got 2 opportunities to break the law and get away with it. One's at dusk, and one's early in the morning. Right?
Dawn and dusk.
Right? Because you know that time where you can't see shit? That's when you do shit.
Oh, that's funny.
Right?
Make notes, people. We're
Just telling you out there.
We're alerted.
Yeah. So this is life hack. Life hack. That's what they call it. It's a life hack.
Yes. A pro tip.
Pro tip. Pro tip. So he zips around the corner. He literally I mean, 3 minutes later, the fucking tree was gone, right? And he's driving out, and I had guys come around that building with wheelbarrows of dirt. We threw the dirt in, we tamped down a bunch of brand new asphalt, and then aged it.
Oh.
The whole process took 10 minutes, and you couldn't even tell that we had done anything. So, cut to 5:30 in the morning, watching the sun come up. We're there already. Film crew is coming in and everything. DP's just as happy as shit, and we're up there, and all of a sudden, the guy whose house is right next to the tree, right? Literally right next to it, all of a sudden, the door opens, and somebody goes, right? And we're like, oh, fuck. Because really, honestly, this guy never would have seen it in day, anything like that, right? So he goes out to get his paper. By the way, kids, newspaper. I'm not going to get into it, but it was there.
Yeah.
So his newspaper was out on the sidewalk, right? And we're all up on the building. We're looking out here, kind of like looking over the parapet, like, and he's in his robe, right? I mean, exactly like you would think, right? And he comes out, and he swings the little gate. He goes, he grabs his paper. He comes back. He swings the gate shut. He gets about 2 steps towards his house, and he just goes like this. He's already, taking the paper out, and he goes. He turns around, and he's like, well, I still to this day remember that scene of him out there, and he's looking. He looks down the street. He looks down the street. He goes like, and he goes like this. He goes back in, and I swear, as he shuts the door, everybody's going,
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's dancing.
Yeah.
I've always said that, essentially a film crew going down the road is just a felony waiting to happen, and actually not even waiting. Just happening.
That's terrific. Are there more stories like that in this book of yours?
This book has got all the stories.
What's it called?
This is from Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Yeah.
And it's an examination of a single film. There's 50 interviews in here, including like my own stuff. And I would like to read you.
Please do.
I'm going to read you the back of it, which kind of explains. It kind of sets it in the right tone.
Love the glasses.
The 80s were blah, 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 visually stunning, blah, 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 Technicolor tour de force, blah, 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 Freddy, blah, 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 must read, blah, 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 1988 best, blah, 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 blah.
Heard it here first. I love it. And I'm going to get one of these.
Yeah.
Last question before you go.
Sure.
Final one, Sophie's choice. Dream Warriors versus Are You Ready for Freddy? And I know you're biased because you worked on one of them.
Are You Ready for Freddy? Which is the
Bad Boys.
The Bad Boys.
Yes.
I worked on both of them.
Oh, you worked on Dream Warriors too?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
the music video?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
See, if you had me back, I got incredible stories for both.
Well, let's do that. This is awesome, Mick. Thank you so much for coming by. Love the stories. This was fun as hell.